and do the mocking and all of that, and watch the voices of the victims get lost in
Thank
all
you.
of this. It's like they're more worried about what's going to catch the attention of the audience, and if they got to do the bickering and the fighting and the mocking and the bashing and all this other stuff, then that's what they're going for. They want views. And Katie's not like that. That's why we decided to talk with her, because we can come on here and be who we are, and speak the, not my truth, not Dinah's truth, not anybody else's truth. We can speak the truth
Right.
about what happened and what's going on. And the hardest part is watching the two people who were affected by this the most, which was Dee Dee and Nick, being put out there to be the bad guy. Because in my opinion, and my opinion only, allegedly, and for educational purposes, I think Dee Dee was gone before Nick got there.
Yep, that's how I feel too.
That's my opinion. I truly believe that. And I believe that Gypsy targeted Nick, and she used him and his autism, and more importantly, his love for her,
You know, my
to do
opinion
this to
about,
Dee Dee.
I will say that, like, I had some reservations about Nick, and just because of the leftover crap that they were telling me. And after reading her book and what she talked about with him, I felt ill because
I cried. Oh, I'm sorry.
because that's why she stole two knives, says Bobby.
Yeah. And that's why she mailed it.
She testified at Nick's trial, and she wasn't a prosecution's this is like how fucked up she is. They know she's a fucking liar, so they didn't even want her for the prosecution. And the testimony got so effed up that basically she became impeached, and then she was being cross-examined by Nick's defense, even though it was his witness, and she was contradicting herself on the stand. And like, whoa.
Get that person out of here.
They're trying to get this place blocked is what they're trying to do.
Mm-hmm. That person's still in here.
NPG Cornerstone, they requested the transcripts from her deposition. And I want to see the full transcripts. I wish I could just get a copy of them, because he admits in that deposition that she has lied in every interview she has ever given about this case. She has lied in every interview, every documentary, everything. She has lied every time she has talked about this case. That is in a sworn deposition under the penalty of perjury. She has lied that he essayed her. She has lied that it was his idea. She has lied that she wasn't involved. I mean, she has pinned all of this on him. And she has made him the mastermind when she was the one that this is what pisses me off. If the federal government did their job, they would arrest her ass for hiring a hitman across state lines to murder her mom, and she could go to prison for life, in federal prison.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt that she should have gotten life. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. And like you were saying, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but what I found was so bizarre is that Nick's attorney didn't call her as a hostile witness so that he could truly interrogate her on that stand.
And okay, so Mr.
Absolutely makes
Bobby's
sense.
saying, because I don't, obviously y'all didn't see, but I was strolling up and I see it. Mr. Bobby said that's why I can't talk. So I don't know what part that was on when he said it because it's up there.
Why can't he talk?
I don't know. That's just what he said. I don't know what y'all was speaking on at the moment, but that's what he said. And I mean,
Federal.
probably because whatever could hurt him. Maybe he can't, but listen, we could talk
Well, here's the
for
thing.
you.
Here, I'll tell. This is probably what he's. No, the deposition is from 2018. That's not why he can't talk. There's a pending appeal with the Supreme Court, but that's not why he can't talk. Ultimately, I still believe that I know that people have reported Gypsy to the federal government. I know that I filed a report with them for the money laundering. I know that other people have filed reports with the FBI for the money laundering that they're doing right now. But this is dual sovereignty. She went across state lines. Nick was no more than a hired hitman.
Basically, yeah. Yeah. The laws need to change drastically because this bullshit of once someone confesses and the investigation ends.
He says it's deeper than that. I don't.
Well, I hope
Oh,
it's not the
okay.
Blanchards trying to keep you silent, because if that's the case, we can handle that real quick. Like, just my opinion, right, Donna?
Now, if the way that the case looks as it is, someone said you've bashed Nick relentlessly. Well, based on the facts of the case and the crime scene photos that I have seen, there's a level of brutality that was pretty significant. If we believe what they've said, that Nick has said to the prosecutors and to the police, that it was only him. Okay. So I obviously will take issue with that.
Well, let me ask this question. Okay, Nick was asked the question, and I'm just going, I guess, by my own child. I mean, my child's 20 now, so he is a grown man technically according to age, but mentality wise, no. But if I was to, like, when Nick was asked, did Gypsy do anything? Did anybody ever stop to think, because of the role playing and everything, that he may have not seen it as Gypsy, but as Ruby? If he was to be asked that question, Nick, did Ruby have anything to do with unaliving Dee Dee? Do you think his answer would be different?
Probably because of their like, I don't know how your sons are, but like my son is so fixated on what we call things.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, if like silly things, right? Like shoes or flip flops, to him, it's all shoes. You can't call them flip flops. You can't call them slippers. You can't call them sneakers. They're shoes.
And see, my son's very specific. It's Crocs, it's Hey Dudes, and it's slippers.
Right.
And pants, he like his shirts, he calls them by what's on the shirt, not a shirt. Foods have to be like specifically. He will never say, "Mom, I want chicken nuggets." It will be, "I will want fun nuggets or McNuggets." It has to be specific. He's a very specific thinker. Yeah.
So they're the thing with autism, if you don't have a child with autism or if you're not autistic, is that it's one of the diagnostics is that there is fixed literal black and white thinking, which means that once they've had their mind made up on something, that's what it is. And
exactly.
You will never convince them otherwise.
Let my oldest son, it was just this week, he realized that Nana who is my sister, and what her name was. He's like, he's because I was on the phone with her, and he said, "Who are you talking to?" I said, "I'm talking to Nana." And then I said, and I called her Nana. I said, "Carla, hold on." And he's like, "No, you're talking to Nana." "Who's Carla?" I said, "Carla's Nana." "No, Carla." And then he turned around and he said, "No, Nana's your sister." I said, "Nana is Carla. Carla is my sister." And he looked at me like, "What the fuck did you just tell me?" I mean, the look on his face was like, "What?" Like he never realized that. I mean, he's 20. She's been my sister all my life, but it's like just like it was like an epiphany for him, and he didn't like it one bit. So yeah, it's that black and white. It's got to be. I don't know. He didn't even talk to me for about an hour
What are
after
you
that.
who are you trying to get in the mods? Like, what do you mean, where are the mods? I just got rid of a comment. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Yeah, my son, like, to your point, my son was like, Grandpa was here, my husband's dad. And he's Grandpa Art. But my husband's like, yeah, that's my dad. And my son's like, what? What? Like, that's your dad? You have a dad?
I know it's funny because you're like, it's been like that forever.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the tism. Yeah, that's what it is.
So Faith is in the chat. If she misses something, she'll get it. She'll do her best. Give Faith some loves. She does everything she can. She's been extremely respectful the last few days and been like an amazing moderator in the chat. So Faith is in the chat. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good point. Did Ruby do anything?
Yeah, it just I was thinking about it. I think Dinah, maybe me and you talked about it. I know I talked about it with somebody, and it just like I thought about that, and I'm like, they just weren't asking him the right questions because they didn't know his frame of thinking. And I think that's why our kids do get lost in all of society in societal things like that. It's because they're not sure. To
Yep.
me, honestly, that video she made of her doing a jabby jab and sending it to him, that alone should have been enough to convict her for longer than 10 years. But
Yeah. There's like,
sorry.
the one thing that bothers me is that she is so manipulative that she convinced the prosecutors that Nick told her what to do in the videos. But I don't know about you, but with my son, he wouldn't, like, he might be able to direct something, but the level of depravity and some of the stuff, like, I don't see that him doing that, like, at all. And he wasn't like that before Gypsy.
I'm going to mute myself because I don't know if y'all can hear this hot mess over here.
And as far as like Bree going live and having stuff to say, I could give two shits what Bree has to fucking say. Bree is a no one to me. Bree showed up in February. She is a clout chasing, mentally ill woman that is being used the same way that Nicholas is. She is so hungry to be famous by proxy that she will do everything in her power to defend the Schmurderer. And yeah, she did. She had your brother on a live, and Nicholas Godejohn supporter says, bro with the snow. She's being used. And when she had, I just want you to know, Bobby, when she had your brother on that live, we over here made a huge stink about it. Huge, because having your brother on a live is actually third party to third party contact, and Gypsy should have been revoked because your brother could have gone back and talked to Nick. And she was absolutely talking to your brother for Gypsy. And she should have been revoked. And I contacted her parole officer over that, but they don't care. Gypsy can't, I will tell you for a fact, she is using people to try to get in touch with Nick and control his narrative. And manipulate him still to this day. I think Missouri is just so like, we don't even want to deal with this person. But she's trying so hard to get in touch with Nick because she wants to control Nick's point of view. And all Nick would have to say is that I wasn't the only one that stabbed Dee Dee. She can't be retried for it, but she's letting him take the fall for everything. She can be charged federally, although it's just frustrating. She can be tried federally still, yes. Which is just like, this is the part where the arrogance of the psychopathic narcissist comes into play, Nellie and Dinah.
I'm listening.
You're not off the hook. The feds could come knocking at your door every time and you can't shut up about your crime.
So she can be charged for mailing a weapon.
Yep. There's no statute of limitations on capital murder.
So then there needs to be a major push for it. He needs the right attorney to do it.
She mailed it. She basically hired him.
Well, that's what I'm not understanding. There's so much proof showing all the things that she did.
I know.
And yet, I mean, it almost seems like there's something else going on. Like, okay, that's it. We got our man. We're going to forget about the case.
Well,
that's
I think
bullshit.
I don't know if you were on my panel, but there's a case here in Minnesota where there was a girl and a guy involved, and the girl basically was the gypsy of it, but she didn't even go to prison because they got the guy that did it. And sometimes the prosecutors don't care as long as they get one person that's in for life.
That's what I was saying earlier. It doesn't make any sense because it's like, there are several cases that I've seen like that where that's it. The person confessed, or we've got one. We don't care about investigating any further. And
and that's what pisses me off about this case is where was the forensics for like the blood spatter?
Exactly.
And like, why aren't they looking at like where the knife and how they went in, and like they just like they were like, oh, you confessed, so we're not gonna do anything more.
Well, wasn't her DNA found on the knife also?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, so what the hell? Oh, what, you're going to tell me it's transfer? There's no way.
Harriet Lynn, you're not coming up. You're not anyone. You're not the family. You're not anyone involved. We're not involving anyone up. The bruising on her hands. Nellie and I were actually talking about that today.
Yeah. There's just so much that was overlooked, and it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. I mean, and again, there are many places Many cases, because I mean, I watch a lot
Hey,
of true crime.
What's
Hey,
up?
y'all, I was talking to y'all and nobody ever heard me.
well, no, I thought you disappeared. I missed you.
I no, I did. Oh, y'all didn't even see me here?
We could see you, but
It
that
was
was
like
it.
you were frozen, honestly.
Like I was like, hello, hello. So I just got out and had to come back because I was being confused and I'm like, why nobody's answering me when I'm talking? Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Okay, here we go again.
We did not put you in timeout, I promise.
Somebody did.
That's funny.
I even hit my mute button because I was like, why? It's not working. And I kept on, and I've been talking away to y'all.
Go ahead,
Nothing
talk.
new, but,
Your turn. Your
well,
turn.
I don't even
Go
know
ahead.
what I was talking about no more.
Well, Dinah 100% believes that Gypsy stabbed her. She does.
Yes.
And I think the family does too.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think it happened in the kitchen, and then she wheeled her.
Hello. Hello. I said that too.
I know. Great minds
You
think
be,
alike.
yeah, but I probably told you that too.
Yeah.
Because when we have our conversations, because we've been having these conversations for over a year
The longer, I
Yeah.
mean, I just have
on
to be
how I
honest.
feel and my theories of this case. Um, I have spoke to Nelly about it, and because I just can't wrap my head around it, and I always put my kid in Nick's shoes, and then I get like really, really mad about it because it's like, anyway, y'all know the situation that I'm already going through, and
Yeah.
it's not even that close, and it still freaks me the hell out. You know what I'm saying? So I know for a fact how easy it is to manipulate a child like that, and it just triggers me big
I
time.
don't I don't think that she was wheeled in there, Nellie. I mean, I think that there could have been like a conflict where she moved or whatever, but there was definitely blood in the kitchen and
Hmm.
all over the walls. And Gypsy was really, I'm going to say it. What's the word for the F word? Pika.
PK12.
Piquet-toi.
She was really piqué toi to write, to write, really piqué toi and stupid to
Hmm.
write in
Bouillon.
her, to write in her book that her mom was scared of her for 4 years, for 4 fucking years. She was scared of her, and that if I die, it's you that's going to kill me.
Hmm.
Right?
But
And
And
that's what I wanted to talk
and
to
what
y'all about
about
too.
before she goes to bed? Please don't hurt me.
yes,
Hmm.
yeah.
But then in the book, she said that in the kitchen while she was cooking.
I'm
Remember?
not dead yet.
Oh, and then one
Yeah.
time it was said that they were watching a movie and she said that before she went to
Yeah.
bed.
She doesn't even
Like,
know, get that shit straight.
mm-mm,
I
no.
honestly think this book is, as my kids
Oh,
would say,
wait.
full of Easter eggs.
Did
Full of
y'all
them.
hear that she also said that Nick's mom is the one that bought his ticket to come down here? I'm not here, but over there.
Oh, she
Yeah,
said
over
that
there.
for the first time, but she paid for both.
Yes, exactly.
Hmm.
She's paid for both.
See,
But
that's why that shit. Because I was on a live the other day, and that was the thing that I think Donna, you came in when I was talking to Rogie, and that's the thing that I said. Why, if she could plan all these things, she bought the bus ticket the first and second time. She, I mean, she pretty much did everything to
she
get
bought
Nick
him
here.
clothes.
Yep.
Yes, okay, she did all of those things in 2 years, and they were arguing with me saying no, it was only a year, only proving that it was 2 years she groomed that man. two
Yep.
years
Yes.
Hello, we
and
seen the
in
text
all that,
messages.
yes, and in all that
And oh,
time
wait,
she never thought to
wait.
walk.
I want
I
to point
mean,
something out. Nick never had an issue with the law until he met Gypsy, and he got arrested when he was stalking the Gypsy.
right,
Hmm.
exactly.
Yeah, just like
Exactly.
that McDonald's thing.
Yeah, that is the McDonald's. That's what she's talking
Right,
about.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I'm elaborating on
And
it.
then in the book,
Yeah.
you know what she said
That's
in
what I
the
was about to say. She says that she didn't know.
And I'll
oh,
bet you
Bitch,
no.
anything she's the one who freaking
she
called
was on
the
the phone with
manager.
him.
And then
Right.
she even said, even if I would have known, I still wouldn't have broken up with him. Okay, if that's not a red flag for CPS to take your kid, Gypsy, like we all know what happened. It wasn't indecent. He didn't get the indecent exposure, whatever. But if that's the case and you're saying like you would be okay with your man having that kind of charge and you would be okay with your husband being a sex offender, someone please take that kid. This woman is a sexual deviant.
She is in everything.
She should be a registered offender.
You know what's sad though? She's not gonna be until she does something horrible. I hate to even think about that.
I don't believe for a minute that Nick said that he wanted to R their child.
No.
She came up with that in prison because she wanted to make him look worse than he is.
All right. She's all about the bash. Because, oh, look here. That I got to agree with Fancy. Fancy always said it. It's all a distraction. And that's what she does. She distracts from what's actually going on. But if you really look at it from a psychological point of view, when you read her book, everything she says about somebody else, she's
Is her.
actually confessing that it's her.
Exactly. Every accusation is a confession.
Everything.
So when she says, my mom was the master deflector, I'm the master deflector. When she says, my mom trapped my dad by getting pregnant, she's saying, I trapped Ken by getting pregnant. When when she says like Nick was a deviant that made me do X, Y, and Z, he didn't understand BDSM, that was her.
Right.
Well, okay, so listen, just like she said that Nick taught her how to play the roles.
That's not even true because
No, it's not. She did that with Dan because Dan said that.
Right.
And she taught Dan. So who taught her? How many men are out there that we don't have a clue about?
Right.
Think about that. Because she was, look, no doubt about it. She was going online.
Well, come on.
She even said it.
Her mom made her take pregnancy tests because she was out whoring around.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, she downplays everything she does. And the best line in the book for me is, I told you guys, I read it to you last night, was that her mom was hateful because her mom said, you've already shot me with a BB gun. If I die, it will be you. What's hateful about the truth, Gypsy?
Obviously, everything.
Gypsy was asked in one of her books by Melissa Moore, what is the worst thing what's the worst hate message you've ever received? She said, well, the meanest stuff I ever get is that I'm an M-word. You are the M-word, Gypsy.
But I don't identify as one. Right. That's what's wrong with this fucking world today. Nobody identifies as what they truly are. Let's just make it up as we go along. Oh God, this pisses me off so much. And I'm freezing out here. I'm sorry, guys. But it's true. It's like, I mean, like, I don't identify as a Muppet, but if you stick a pole up my ass, maybe I might.
Sir, I need a lawyer.
Yeah, and that too. Sir, I can't go to prison. I'm sick.
Yes.
Melissa Moore, Bobby, we talked about Melissa Moore last night. I actually fucking went off about her. I said, you are the worst fucking investigative journalist in the entire fucking world. You are sitting on actual medical records that prove that Gypsy was not medically harmed by Dee Dee, and you are willingly not disclosing the fact that she has a chromosomal deletion. You are lying about why she got her feeding tube, and you are completely misrepresenting the entire case.
Katie,
Yeah.
CJ is asking why she got muted.
I
She's
don't
on
want
her.
I am not going to answer these kinds of questions, and you are not going to disrupt chat by getting annoyed by that kind of stuff. Like, all I'm going to say in the chat to everyone that's here is we are going to respect that Bobby's in the chat. We are not going to recruit Bobby to be his advocate. Don't try to recruit Dinah or Nellie. This is a place to chat. It is not a place to promote yourself. That's all I'm going to say.
And we might speculate it's because we're trying to put the pieces together because this is a massive freaking puzzle.
And this Claudia lives in, they have no closure, you guys. No closure.
No. And I don't think Mr. Bobby does either. To be
Well,
honest, I mean,
I'm sure he doesn't,
I can't
because
imagine being in his shoes.
I mean, I'm sure he's still trying to wrap his head around
CJ, I'm just
how
going
it
to say
even
this.
happened.
CJ, you are still self-promoting here. You are in the chat promoting your platform when we're not here to promote anything other than to talk. You're not here for this conversation. You're here to exploit the situation to benefit your platform. That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful to the people on my panel. It's disrespectful to Bobby. That's why you were muted.
Oh, Lord.
I'm not. I just got silenced for telling him to talk to you. They don't have closure. They don't have any closure.
Nope.
And they don't have all of the, they'll never get the truth because Gypsy is a pathological liar. And this is what I was talking about. He is safe here.
Oh, I know who CJ is. Okay.
But they have no closure. They have no closure. And it was like I was telling you guys today when I was like texting with you. Okay, goodbye, CJ. He's taking this too personally. I'm not going to have my chat.
I agree, Mr. Bobby. You're right.
I do
There
too.
will be no peace and no closure until she's back behind bars. But the sad part is that I think she won't end up back behind bars till she commits another crime. Because the systems is so screwed up.
Yep. Gypsy is such a psychopath, though, that she has such criminality and just ingrained in her. There is absolutely no way that she will stay free for the rest of her life. She's currently not, like, she's already said that parole has her by the short and curlies, right?
I thought she was talking about the people out here that had her by the short and curly.
No, parole. She told me the only reason that she is not retaliating right now is because of parole.
Oh,
So
well, come June, that's it. We better watch ourselves because, the gyp bitch are going to be out on the streets.
So you're going to tell me that 4'11" gyp stain is just going to be out there causing havoc? Like, here's what bothers me about Christy and Gypsy. They are the actual perpetrators, and you'll never convince me otherwise. The longer I'm away from this, I believe wholeheartedly that Christy and Rod were benefited the most from Dee Dee dying.
Oh, especially after what we talked about last night.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That I wouldn't be shocked if down the line, 20 years from now, we hear Christy actually planted this idea in my head, and I did it for them.
I don't think it's going to take 20 years. I don't think it's going to take that long.
What?
Okay. You say all my stuff.
You say what's in my head.
My voice the voices in my head are speaking.
I swear I told her that.
I know you told me that, and we talked about it.
Because they have LLCs, they've got trust funds, they're like laundering money, like, and now they have this whole thing built that Christy acts like the mafioso leader that's gonna like take out her rivals with a hit. Like Christy is out there blabbing today that the creators that were trying to buy Gypsy's stolen TikTok are going to go to prison for extortion, but Christy's so stupid that she doesn't know what extortion is, and that's not what extortion is. Christy is the dumbest person. I have to show you something because she's the densest person I've ever met. She's very smart about lying, but she's very stupid about the law.
Right.
Let me show you. I'll show you a text message because she was going to like go after everyone and she was going to get a cease and desist from the courthouse. And I was like, Christy, that's not how it works. And she was going to get a cease and desist for Natasha Cooper, you guys. Mm-hmm. Her best friend. Her best friend.
I heard about that.
Let me see if I can make this bigger so you can see it.
Y'all, if the noise here gets to be too loud, I don't know if y'all can hear this hot now, so I'm about to go tell my neighbor to go shut it down.
I'm going tomorrow to the courthouse to send April Johns, a.k.a. F-Bag, along with a few others. I was wondering if you could help me find a few addresses. I'm sending cease and desist letters. And I said cease and desist are sent by lawyers. She thinks she can get these from the court. And she's like, April, I don't know who Colleen is or Christina. No idea. Actually, they can be done at the courthouse, which is faster and cheaper. I talked to one of my mom's best friends who worked for a big law firm, and they told me just to go to the courthouse and get it done. It's just as binding. And I said, cease and desists are not binding.
Well, if she talked to these people, then why they didn't find the addresses for her?
And she said, also Natasha Cooper and Brandy Jolly. And I said, they do not have to stop doing anything, even if you send one. Well, they do. What they do is send it, and if they don't comply, actions will be made. I said, yes, but the court does not send those.
Like I said last night, she's stupid. She's stupid. She doesn't have a clue.
All right.
About how any of this shit works. It don't work that way, Christy.
But
they think if they buy everybody out, that's how they get what they want.
Yeah, well, it don't work.
Hold up, Christy. Do you want me to tell Gypsy, or do you? Should it be me or you, Christy? But it was Gypsy wrote in her book, Christy, that someone leaked her parole date, and she was so mad because the prisoners found out she was getting out early, and she was a target in prison again. Who wants to tell Gypsy it was Christy that sent Titania in touch to do that? Because here it is.
And isn't it kind of strange that Titania did that? And she's supposedly friends of Dee Dee, not Christy.
Yeah.
I mean, see, that always confused me. All these because I've always been on the anti-gypsy thing.
Who's in the white?
That's Christy. So I'm like,
because I see, read it. Titania sent it to me. What what we reading that she sent to her?
So it's an article, and it's basically the article is in touch, and the article is giving Gypsy's release date. So just to give you a backstory, I was called by them the minute they found out that Gypsy was being released. The plan was, after she got paroled, that no one was going to say a word, and that they were going to keep it quiet until the moment she was released because they didn't want the press there. But Christy can't handle not having all of the attention. And so she wanted it to be leaked ahead of time after telling us that we couldn't say anything and that it was going to be private because we need to protect Gypsy.
And yet they were trying to protect her by what? Getting her mauled by the fellow prisoners in jail?
Correct. And then after that, they put cameras in her face.
In whose face?
Gypsy.
In Gypsy's face.
Remember when she got out? She got out supposedly. That too. It's like,
Oh, you talking about when she got out? Okay, okay.
Yeah.
There was cameras everywhere.
how convenient, right?
But I mean, that's what they wanted. Say the truth. You finished scrubbing that floor? Sweet baby
Is that
Jesus.
her? Hey, don't come out till you finish scrubbing the floor.
Hey, Taylor, if I was scrubbing the floor earlier.
So, Gypsy, I just want you to know, when you talk about the dirty leaker is your fucking stepmom.
Hasn't it been always, from what I understood?
Yes.
Okay, pause. Pause. Pause.
Honestly, I was just asking a question that I needed an answer for.
What's that?
You just answered it. I was just letting you know that, like, I had heard that a long time ago, and you just verified it, is what I'm saying.
So I just want to tell you guys something. We got into a fight with Christy about this. We did. Like, that was a huge fight.
About her leaking?
Huh?
About her leaking this stuff?
Yep. This fight was so bad that Gypsy was screaming at Vicky for hours on the phone because, one, why the fuck would this get leaked? So Gypsy is in the book writing about this leak, acting like she doesn't know who did it, and she fucking knows it was Christy the whole time. But she's acting like it's her haters that leaked it. Because why would you blame Christy for anything, I guess? I don't know. She's like, Christy poops flowers and roses because she's making you money, Gypsy, apparently.
Sweet baby Jesus, that she person is telling me I have the same strange accent as Gypsy's dad. Well, I would wonder why.
Because they're from the bayou?
Sweet baby Jesus, some people have no fucking sense.
You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of Talladega Nights, where they would always talk about Jesus. They're like, sweet baby Jesus, the little baby Jesus in the manger, like all cuddled up and... Sorry.
My earbuds died.
Oh, God. So... they always have to frame her as the victim. But Gypsy, like, you scream about Dee Dee, but, like, apparently you're okay with Christy doing it. The difference here is that Christy and Rod...
Okay, somebody's making an echo.
That's coming from you.
Why is it coming from me?
You sure it's not me? My earbuds just died.
Oh, did they?
Is it me?
Well, I don't hear it no more, thank God.
Could have just been... Yeah, it's you. I wonder if you come back out and come back on.
You talking about me or Dinah?
You.
Okay, I'm gonna go now, and I'll be right back.
Sassy Missy. Oh, girl,
I know,
listen,
like,
I love Sweet Baby Jesus. I say it all day long.
You'll come right back out, but we'll just fix it so that you don't echo anymore. Okay. All right.
Okay, kick me out because it won't let me leave.
Okay.
It won't let me leave.
Let me get you back. Let me get you back. All right.
She got in timeout. It wasn't me first.
Okay, so the Bayou accent it's unique because they have it's Southern Cajun, but they also have French that's like mixed in it, and so that's why it's a unique accent.
I mean, I'm just gonna tell y'all, I was born with this voice, okay? I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. And I will not fake it just to please you.
You know, I was watching the show and like this is Rod talking about raising Gypsy. Well, I just figured she was fine. She looked great. It's all fine. Like, is that your idea of parenting? What? Rod,
She
why?
did. They did what?
He's just like, well, I just figured